Okay, Laura. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Palette Talk.
Thanks for having me.
So I'll kind of tell you how we're going to structure this. First, we're going to start with painting. We'll talk a little bit about you, and then we're going to go a little bit into your style evolution. But first and foremost, what are you painting today?
Today I am painting somewhat of a breakfast assortment. I have a piece of toast, a cup of coffee, and some milk.
Nice.
So
Any
some
particular
really
reason?
exciting stuff. I've always, whenever I've been attracted to a painting, I have found it to be food. And I also have always wanted a breakfast nook in my life. And so I feel like this embodies like a breakfast nook, 70s kind of vibe. So
I've always wanted a booth. Like a kitchen
breakfast booth nook. Yes, exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I love still lifes too. Still lifes are my favorite.
Yes, that's the correct term for them, aren't they? Still lifes.
I'm also doing, still life of lava lamps for no reason. Because that's what popped into my head when it was time to
Lava lamp.
something. So Laura is one of the very few human beings that I know, at least, that grew up in Colorado. But you're from New Jersey, right?
I'm from South Jersey, Atlantic City represent, till I was 7. And then we moved to Durango, Colorado. And then we moved to Fort Collins when I was in 5th grade.
I didn't know you lived in Durango.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my fun fact.
Wow, that's really crazy. And now you live in Denver.
And I live in Denver.
Is it crazy living here when it's known for being such a transient city?
No, but what I will say is that it's funny because despite being from like just an hour away from Fort Collins, like the people I hang out with here, like I don't know. I have like one really good friend from high school that lives in Denver, but like everyone else is spread out. So no one else that I grew up with, like I feel like I hang out with on a regular basis, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which like after college, I feel like moving here, I was like, oh, like I'll have so many friends from Fort Collins. And then like the goddamn Midwest took over and I'm like, all my friends are still from the Midwest. So I wouldn't have it any other way, but it is just funny how it worked out that way.
Yeah. That is like, I don't know, just wild. I feel like you witness people come and go and like you're from here.
I do feel like it is like a 3 to 4 year stop for most. And then I feel like you go back to your respected, not all the time, I shouldn't say that, but I'm always
That's
like, stay longer. Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's no secret.
No, yeah, that's like, yeah, I'm like, breaking news. People move back home. No, but you know what I mean? I'm just like, come on, stay. And I'm like, well, my parents are an hour away, which is like the perfect
Yeah, that is a
distance.
really good amount.
So I'm like, I get why you're moving back, but.
But yeah, your parents are only an hour away. That must be so nice.
It's very nice.
Did you think you would be the one that stayed closest to your family?
Not at all. For reference, my twin brother lives in Paris and my little brother lives in LA. So
Wait, he moved to Paris? I thought he was in Spain.
He was in Spain his first year, and then his second year of his master's is in Paris.
Wait,
yeah. So.
I haven't caught up with you about him at all. Wait, yeah, because you just visited him.
Yeah.
I thought you guys just took a trip there.
No, he lives there.
Oh, do you have any plans to go back there to see him?
Actually, yes. So we went in December, obviously, to go see him, and the first 3 days were incredible and amazing, and then we got like deathly ill the 3rd day. And so like we were staying in his baby ass tiny little apartment, his ratatouille apartment.
Isn't it crazy that when you think of other countries, you're like, it's so glamorous and amazing. Like, no, the city is actually way older than ours, and it's even
yes,
the living spaces are even smaller.
So tiny, and it was 7 flights of stairs, no elevator, and Mama brought baggage with her when she went to Paris, obviously. So looking it up those 7 flights of stairs, I was like, whew. But he lives in this tiny ass little apartment. We got super sick, and so it was like both of us like on this little cot, like coughing and feeling the other one like shake from the coughs, and like we tried to like go out and walk and stuff, but we were just so sick. So anyway, I'm redeeming myself and I'm going back in July for his graduation.
Oh, that'll be cute.
Yeah,
Is the
I'm
whole
super
family
excited.
Oh, have you always been like the social butterfly of your family, or is your whole fam chit-chatters?
We are extroverts to a T. Like, you have to compete for fucking screen time. Or if you want to tell a story, it better be a good story, because you only got so much time to, like, have not the attention on you, but, like, kind of a little bit. So I feel like that's why I am the way I am, is because both of my parents are very, like, it's hard to get a word in sometimes. In the best way, but you know what I mean.
My family's the same way, but it turned me quiet.
That's also a result of it.
Yeah.
You're not quiet, though.
You don't think so?
I think you're, like, thoughtful, but I wouldn't say you're, like, quiet. I don't know. Do people describe you as quiet?
I don't know how people describe me. What do you think?
Well, you want to hear what people... No, I'm just kidding.
I always joke that I'm a Leo rising, even though I don't know what that means.
Are you a Leo rising?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a Leo.
Oh,
but I don't know if I'm rising. But I know that I'm almost a Cancer, so I always consider myself to be, like, somewhat of a Leo, but I don't like to fully identify with, like, a full Leo, because sometimes we get a bad rep.
I feel like all famous people are Leos.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
This is my big break.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
But they are known for being, like, social butterflies.
Social butterflies, like, selfish, like, always want the attention on them, which, don't get me wrong, like, here and there, absolutely, but I wouldn't say that, like, I'm, like, please put it on me. Like, I was quite nervous to do this, or, like, I don't know.
You also grew up with a twin. I feel like that... Which I do have something to tell you. When we were in Vail one time,
oh, no.
Your brother came up to me and he goes, I think I'm an introvert.
And we're talented.
And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I went to go get coffee alone this morning and it was incredible. I was like, well, they have been, like, in this cabin, like, partying a lot this weekend, so that could be why.
That's maybe why. I will say Ben is definitely, like, more, I think, a little bit more introverted than I.
Growing up, were you guys, like, tag team in it, or were you guys, like, kind of separate?
I would say... Your question was, were we kicking it? Like, were we besties?
Yeah, were you besties?
I would say that, like, growing up, I kind of, like, probably told him what to do a lot, and he did it.
So he was your bestie?
So he was my bestie. And then, like, as we grew older, probably in high school, we weren't as good of friends. And then I would say, like, probably by our, like, early 20s, we were, like...
Buddies again?
Buddies, yeah. Not that we weren't in high school, but I just feel like we ran in different groups, and... I always say that Ben has, like, how do I describe it? He has a character where, like, he's always going to do the right thing. And I think I had to, like, learn that a little bit. Like, Ben has always just had, like, such a good heart. Like, Ben's always going to do the right thing. I don't think I was necessarily always like that, if that makes sense.
You needed to get it out of you.
Yes, I needed to get some bad out of me.
Wait, didn't your parents make you, like, sign something for the car?
Yes, we had a lot of contracts growing up. That is correct. We had contracts. Like, we had a driving when we got a car, and we got our license, we signed a contract. When we went to college, we signed a contract.
I like this idea. Honestly.
It's about holding yourself accountable to, like, what you'll say you'll do. Which, guess what? Didn't never really do that. But...
Like, I became really good at getting around contracts.
Yes, I got really good at getting out of contracts. But more so, like, God bless them. They were great, great parents. But I think I was a little bit of a wild child, and they thought a contract could reel me in.
Oh, that's...
Were your parents strict?
I was number 4, and I had a lag. So my closest is 5 years. So by the time I came around, like, I think they had just learned how to be strict without me knowing they were strict. And they played the guilt trip a lot. So they would, like they knew I was out at a party. Like, it's obvious I lied to them and went to a party. But instead of, like, how they probably treated my older siblings, which would be like, we know you were at a party.
Yeah, you're grounded.
They would just sit me down and be like, hey, we're just really proud of you for, like, telling us the truth.
Reverse psychology.
And I would be like, fuck me, they know. And they would say it in a way where I'd be like, I know. Same with when I started smoking pot. Like, I came home from work and basically him and my mom were at the kitchen island and they had everything laid out that they had found. And they said, welcome to the club. They said, you never have this in your car, you never drive high, and you absolutely never do homework high. And I was like, okay, understood. And they were like, okay.
Cool.
I don't never want to see it again. And I was like, okay, perfect. Okay. But the fact that they were so honest about it, I was like, well, now how am I supposed to smoke with friends if I can't drive?
Right. And then you're like, you think of it. So I saw this thing that was all about, because my parents were strict to the point where like, and my mom and I have talked about it since, but like I became I'd lie about everything. I had to do anything, to go to a party, to drink, to sleep over. So like, I feel like they always said that I was manipulative, but I was always like, well, to do anything, I had to.
Like, I knew you would say no.
I knew you would say no, so I had to like find ways around it. And I always say that like, maybe if they had like, instead of parenting me so hard sometimes, if they like guided me, which I feel like that's like an example of what your parents did, instead of being like, hey, like, you're gonna get in so much trouble if we ever found out that you were drinking, they'd be like, okay, here's my number, if you ever need a ride, like, you are never getting in a car drunk, but here's what you should do, like, in that scenario. Because like, listen, like, they drink, like, we are, like, you're gonna be in a scenario that you're gonna just want to know that you can. And I always felt like I could call them if I needed something. Yeah. But I do feel like there was always a part of me that was like, okay, like, how am I gonna like?
It was something you had to consider before doing anything.
Yes, 100%.
How can I keep this from my parents?
Yes, and I'm like, okay, if I sleep at Becca's, then her mom will say that I'm here, but then I can go to George. Like, there was like so many different like layers of thinking I had to.
And your parents are social butterflies too, so they were probably in. My parents were not in my friend circles at all, which was really helpful.
That's so helpful.
Okay, I did have a question kind of about like, you grew up as like a social butterfly. Did that kind of like tip the scale into choosing your career? Which Laura's in sales.
Surprise, surprise. I mean, let's be so honest. No one grows up and is like, hey, I want to be in sales. And I never like thought. I honestly think that sales should be marketed better to like young women, or like, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't even have any clue of what it was. I thought everyone knows like that sleazy car salesman. That's like what sales is. But I think after I went to Butler, and Butler was very much like small school liberal arts. Like, it was not cool to miss class. It was not cool to like, I don't know, goof off. Like, you were there to like, go to school, crazy enough, go to school, which I don't know, I feel like sometimes college is not that.
I agree. Some schools get the rap of party schools.
Yes. Which, don't get me wrong, I wish, we all have our things. But anyway, long story short, went there, and I just remember being like, I actually have no idea what I want to do. I just feel like everyone around me was so motivated and so like knew what they wanted to do, even though that's a lie and no one actually knows what they fucking want to do at that age. But you're like in that scenario where you're like, damn, if I don't have a job by the time we graduate college, like, I'm a loser and a failure. And like,
I used to be so envious of people that were like, I've wanted to be a doctor since I was 5. And
I'm like, really? Did you know that? Like,
that's just so lucky.
It is so lucky. And yeah, I guess that's like, I've never had like a calling like that. And I will say, I think what sales does for me is like, it puts my talking or my like, whatever, even my parents want to call it, manipulating skills to like, and monetizes it. But also it's like all about like relationship building, and like, I don't know, it makes you, like, I'm not afraid to talk in a room of any type of people now. And I feel like that's a skill that you can definitely build and have, but I also feel like that's something that like, you kind of got it or you don't. And I feel like I was able to find a job that like allows me to not be the smartest person in the room, but like read the vibe, deliver the information the best, or read the vibe and know how to talk to a person depending on how I read them. So I'm not sure if it answers that question.
No, it definitely does. My next question is, do you have any advice for women in sales? Because I feel like it is, people think of it like male dominated, but really I feel like the women are out there crushing it.
Yes, we are. We are. And we are like, I feel like recently I just got a promotion and I had
congrats.
to, thank you. And that was the first time I like genuinely was like, I deserve this raise for this, this, and this. And I feel like so many times, specifically women in sales, were like, okay, whatever you want, like, let's do it. Like, I don't know. I feel like you are a people pleaser in a certain sense to a certain degree, depending on who you're talking to. But I feel like that was the first time I really was like, I deserve this and this is why. And it was very empowering. So I feel like use your personality in a way that you would use it to make friends, and don't be afraid to do that in like a sales type role.
Okay.
Like, don't play down your personality or your persuasiveness or your likability just because you're a girl there, if that makes sense.
That's a great way to put it.
Thank you. Took me a little while to get there, but
That's all right.
painting and talking is hard.
I know it is. I agree with you. Mine is great. Do you want a peep game?
Oh, yes.
Mine is just two blobs, which I wasn't intending, but it's okay.
Oh! Okay. No, it's definitely going to get there.
Okay, I have one more question
Okay.
for your career-wise. Have you ever thought of switching careers?
I have thought of like, I feel like eventually I would love to get into like more of like the wellness space, more of like the own my own yoga studio and like have it be a coffee shop and have my like husband make like the food that like we serve at the, and that's just like a cute little business. Like, so I'd say like business owner eventually, but something that I'd really love to do at an age that I'm like completely comfortable and financially ready for that responsibility.
I think it's interesting that I feel like most people, their like dream jobs is usually owning something of their own, which is so interesting because that used to be like easier to do,
Yeah.
you know? We do live in a city.
We do live in a city, and I don't want to like steal all the credit from my current partner, but like he really wants to like,
Do the same?
he wants to buy a small business, and like that is kind of like the thing to do right now is like buy like
Yeah, because everybody's like selling them.
selling them, like specifically like boomer aged people who own like a cleaning business or like a flooring business. And I think like obviously that's not the sexiest kind of company to own, but then you like build that up, you can sell it back, and then like you can start a business that you really want to like one day have and own. And like I probably would say that I like didn't have as much of that frame of thought till recently, but I feel like that's the scariest thing. Like, you don't want to do it because it's scary, but then if you do it, you can. It's just the unknown part of it.
It's the unknown part of it. I mean, I feel like it's impossible to teach somebody how to own a business without just doing it.
100%.
You know, there's so much to it. Because I think about the same thing with like construction, because Josh used to be in construction. And I'm like, well, I understand blueprints enough to
Yeah.
at least be eyes on it, like to at least speak the same language as people who know it better. And he knows construction, like he was in construction. And I'm like, that's not a bad, it's a great way to learn how to run a business.
100%. I think exactly. And I think you don't know anything until you do it.
Until you do it.
But I think that's like, I feel like at this age now, I mean, I love stability and I love the flexibility I have now. And I love that, like, I can do things financially and, like, I can count on a paycheck. And, like, I think this is a part of our 20s that, like, I want to feel this way now. But, like, I do feel like there's a part of me that's, like, kind of, like, wants to feel a little bit make or break. Like, all of my actions are, like, my own success, if that makes sense.
Yeah. More rewarding, but more stressful at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah. It just makes me sad that our generation is, like, we're so bogged down. Like, it's harder to take risks now.
100% it is.
It's sad. But you can do it.
Or, like, when you see someone doing it, you're like, wow, like,
It's really
risky. Yeah, like, I feel like even you with, like, this amazing podcast idea, I feel like, once again, like, this is something I'd probably be like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. But putting pen to paper and actually doing it, actually getting people here, setting up a camera, getting to, like, do you know what I mean?
This could easily be my full-time job.
I've
just been feeling lately like all of a sudden it's becoming such a reality of like when we have children. I don't know if you want children, But you're just like, holy shit, that is a solid 5 years of just like, they become a priority.
No.
And I was thinking about this today and I'm like, why did I go into a male-dominated industry? But then I thought about it and I go, but what industry isn't, other than like teaching, marketing, maybe like, I know. It's everything. Hollywood, like business, everything.
Well, and that's what I've kind of like, because I've always been like, I mean, I feel like you don't need to necessarily, like, I don't think at this point I need to know for sure if I want children or not. I feel like I've always been, sounds kind of like indifferent about it. Like there's not been a time when I'm like, oh my God, I for sure want kids. And then there's never been a time where I'm like, no, wouldn't ever want them. Mm-hmm. So, which is, I feel like, I mean.
That's common,
yeah. Like I think that's like a way to feel at this time in my life. But I think the scariest thing about it is like more for me, even financially, it's like losing my identity a little bit. Because I feel like, and I don't want to say this, but like I feel like women specifically, like you're the one, you don't necessarily have to stay at home, and no, like if you're a male stay-at-home dad, respect times 1,000 to you, but like I just feel like we're the ones who sacrifice our social lives, our bodies, like, our jobs.
Yeah.
And not to say that I wouldn't want like just to be my mother, to be my identity. I would love that, but I think like that's what makes it so hard right now is like, I don't know.
I feel like you have to fully be comfortable with your life trajectory before.
Yes.
So it doesn't get like disrupted by.
Yes.
Not disrupted, but so it's not easy to jump ship and be like, my identity is now a child.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel the same about that. I don't worry about it as much though, I think, because I have nieces and nephews.
So nice.
Like, it's so nice. It's definitely made me realize, like, at the end of the day, it goes by quick. Like, it really is just a phase of life, which I feel like I was viewing it as your whole life changes forever, and it does. As long as you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel to go back to who you are, like, I feel like that is a good thing to keep in mind.
100%. And I do feel like motherhood gives you a sense of like, it takes you to like another level of like
wisdom,
love and wisdom, and like in so many different ways. And like literally I feel like, to be super honest, I feel like I'm pretty selfish at this age. Like that's what I feel like.
You're supposed to be.
Yeah, you're supposed to be. But like, I'm like, well, what if I can't go to a workout class? Like, you know what I mean? like I'm serious though. So it's like, I just feel like, but when you have a kid, like that doesn't matter. And I think that love comes. I just think that like, I don't know.
You're just enjoying being selfish right now.
I'm being, yes.
Yeah. It's hard to know where to be selfish though. Sometimes I'm like, should I put all my energy in my career? Should I put all my energy in being health and wellness?
Yes.
Should I be partying all the time? You're like, your time does all go to like family and children, that you're like, all of this is going to change.
Completely and utterly.
And like, so I need to put my time into all of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm always tired.
I know. That's how I've been feeling a little bit. I'm like fucking always fucking tired. But also here's my thing. I think everything in life is just about balance. So I feel like, and I think if I'm good at anything, it's like knowing, like I just told you I had a very bizarre bender of like the last 2 weeks. I feel like I know what my body needs and when it needs it. And it's like, as long as I answer to it most of the time, I feel like that's when you know, like, okay, like I know when I need like a good night out. I know when I'm like, I feel like I've been like, and then I also know when like, do I always say no to it? No, but like I know when I need to say it.
That doesn't mean I listen.
That doesn't mean I listen,
but I hear it.
But I hear it.
No, that's great. I agree. Balance is like definitely number one. It's hard sometimes. I was talking to my supervisor today and I was like, because I just worked a lot last week to get deadlines in, and then instead of having a restorative weekend, I did the same thing. I just was like, now I have all this energy I want to put into my social life. And I just didn't properly like recover.
Yes.
And I was just like, it's so hard for me. Like this morning, for instance, I woke up and I was like, I'm just so tired. Is it better for me to sleep in or is it better to work out?
100%. That's a really good, and also here's my thing too. This is kind of diverts into a different subject, and I'm like social media. But I do feel like that's like my biggest thing with social media. It's not even like comparing myself or doing. It's like, why do I feel like I can't have a second to like fuck? Like I feel like I need to like be doing this and organizing this, and I don't know. That's what I always. So I agree with you. I'm like sometimes I'm like maybe I just need to sleep in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's what happened this morning. I was like, no, I always feel better after a run. And then I got up and went for a run. And I was like, I feel horrible and tired. I should have stayed in bed.
I know. I feel like sleep's something I need to get better at. But
One thing I'm very thankful for is I'm a very good sleeper.
you're a good sleeper.
I can sleep anywhere, anytime, full 8 hours.
That's amazing.
Knockout. Like, it's incredible.
That's amazing.
I've been trying to crochet an audiobook before bed.
I feel like, okay, fair.
That's a good, like, in between that I enjoy. Or just stretching before bed is nice too.
I know anything that's just not
Scrolling.
Yeah.
But then I always do, no matter what I get I'll go, I'm going to put my alarm on, and you know what I should do? Look at 3 TikToks. That turns
1,
300.
2, 3. I know.
What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? But we can't be perfect all the time.
I agree.
So sometimes you can meditate, and other times it's okay if you scroll TikTok. And listen, I don't have a problem with those Oura rings. I don't. And I want one, but I also don't at all, because I don't want...
I want to know your take on this.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm going to piss a lot of Oura ring people off, but...
No, well, I've wanted one a lot, and I decided not to.
Yeah.
I want to hear your reasoning.
Because I just feel like... we're already shoved with so much fucking information all the time about ourselves, about like... if you did this, you got good, or like if you didn't, or like this is how much you, I don't know. I just feel like I want to feel how my body feels and then make a decision versus like depending on something to tell me.
So that was like, I forgot, I think I listened to a Huberman podcast with a specialist in happiness. And she said, she used like an Apple Watch as an example. She's with running. She's like, so when you run, you feel good. It's an intrinsic reward. But when you put it on an Apple Watch, it turns external. So now, like, your brain is thinking of an external reward. And at that time, I had lost my Fitbit. So I was looking into getting an Oura ring. And I was like, you know what? I know about how long and how often I have to walk to get my steps. And like, I know I'm a good sleeper. Like, do I really need one? And I like not having one, but I do think I'm lazier.
But like, did you feel like you're lazier because you're not getting like the ping of it? Or like you're not getting the satisfaction of being like...
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, truly, I've actually never had a Fitbit. I've never been like a tracker of sorts. Actually, the only time I did was when I got guilted into Orange Theory and they made me buy that stupid fucking band for like $200. And I was like, okay. And then it would like rate you and tell you how much calories you're burning and shit like that. And like, I don't know. I guess maybe that doesn't work for me. I could see it working for other people for sure. But
well, I think if it's been external for a long time, it's hard to retrain your body for it to be internal again.
Yeah. So mine's going better than expected.
Good. Mine is going way worse than I thought it would. Cool. We've been going for about an hour. Oh my god, it looks so cute.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so good. Oh, love.
She tells this to everyone.
So I have a little question about like you and fashion as a child. Like have you ever always been into it?
Yes and no. I feel like I was quite a tomboy, but I always remember like wanting to be like a hot tomboy, or like a cute tomboy. That didn't make sense, but like I always carried that like my sweatpants matched my sneakers, and that like my like headband that was like cutting off the circulation to my head like matched my like shoe. Like there was like definitely like always like a want there. And then I would say in middle school, shout out Becca Engel, my best friend and I, like we would call each other every night and plan out our outfits for the next day.
That's so
and we would have themes. So like one day would be like, we're going like sailor, like kind of like a sailor, like casual look, blah, blah, blah. And we would go to school and like, I would know exactly what she was wearing and she would know exactly what I was wearing. And that's kind of where I feel like it kind of started. It was in middle school. I would say like 7th grade for sure. And then, you know, we'd go to like the mall with like a hot $15 in our pocket and see like what we could get at like Charlotte Rouge or like PacSun.
Oh, Charlotte Rouge.
Yes. And I'd always just try to like, I was always interested in finding things that like I could fucking afford or could pay for.
Yeah.
And like that would like, you know, be cool. So I feel like I've been into it like from a young age, but I feel like probably not till
Middle school
or like seriously like started to like really love it was like probably towards the end of college, I would say. Because I feel like I was always going to like thrift stores for like costume parties or themed parties. And then I would find myself being like, wait, I'm so happy here. And like, I like want to be here for hours. And
really is kind of like winning the lottery when you find something.
it's a fucking high that you don't even know how to describe. And I also feel like there's no better feeling than just going into a thrift store with headphones on. Maybe you're a little high, I don't know. And you just like go through the racks. And I find it to be like the most like time will go by, and I like yoga, I like meditating, but that's like my own form of flow state.
Yeah. Do you have any like moments as a kid you remember looking up to, whether it was like your mom or like a neighborhood kid or
That, like, I liked their style?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good question. Oh, God, it's always like someone's mom though, isn't it?
It always
It's never
is.
your mom. I love you, Teresa, but it's always like a mom.
It's not your mom until later.
It's not your mom until later, and then you like go into her closet and you're like, oh my God,
Like,
this
what the
is so
fuck?
you.
She's like, it's been here the whole time.
And you're the whole time. But yeah, there's an ideal mom that I have in mind that, and this is so funny, she would always snap her gum, like, and I think maybe low-key that's why I snap my gum too, because like I wanted to be this woman.
That's so cute.
But she also always had like a ton of watches on, a ton of charm bracelets. She just like wore low-rise jeans. Everything fit her.
It's always their aura. It's just like they're so confident.
It's just this aura, yes. And like, I don't know. I just like loved being around her, and I'd always like ask to sit in the front seat when she'd pick us up from school.
Oh, that's so cute.
When do you think you did? Like, when do you feel like I also feel like half of it's just the confidence to wear shit. And I also think half of it's also to not wear things for boys. Because I was also in that rabbit hole for a while.
I think about the same, but I don't think it was until my senior year of high school when, like, I was comparing myself a lot to others. Like, what are you wearing? Oh, I should wear that too. Like, when I was studying for my exam and I had to go to the library at DU all the time, I would see girls walking around. They all looked the exact
fucking same.
And I did that for sure.
Yeah. We all did.
We all did it.
We were all scared because if you didn't do it, then
Yeah.
and who were you?
Then who were you? You weren't part of the pack.
I know. Sometimes you just like want to take your little like self and be like, oh, I'm gonna be okay.
And I also didn't fit into a lot of like my friends' clothes.
Yeah.
So I think it was like kind of the end of senior year when like my group of girlfriends got really like a lot smaller, and
Of college.
yeah, of college, and I was just hanging around like kind of like those people only, and we were all
Kind of more in the same boat.
yeah, kind of more just like, I don't know, wanting to make fun fits, I guess. Or maybe they were just more supportive of it.
100%. And I feel like you're more like,
Because when you're just a sorority house, will be like, oh, let me dress you. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I didn't want to wear this. I didn't think it was cool. No,
yeah, never mind. They're like, oh, let me find you a shirt, BP. And you're like, oh,
You're like, no, I was going to wear this one. But like, yeah, no, this is just like, I wasn't going to wear this.
Well, and then also too, I feel like that's the time when you like know your body, you know your like taste a little bit more. It's a little bit more refined, and like, I don't know, sometimes like when I am thrifting and I pick up a little fucking pair of Hollister shorts, I'm like, no wonder you thought you were fat. Like, these are fucking crazy. Like, no one should be wearing these. Like, and like, I don't know, I feel like once I like figured out like what fits my body, like what do I like proportionally, like what, like, I feel like that's when I felt like 100% more confident, and then I felt more confident to wear things that like, and by all means, am I like a fashion icon? No, I like probably wear like the same, I buy a lot of things, but I feel like I wear the same fucking 5 things like all the time. But I do feel like it's a creative part of your brain that like gets awakened, and like, I don't know. I think that's a beauty of thrifting is like you picking up something and being like, okay, I can wear it with this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I see it this way and this way and this way. And not everyone can thrift. Like not everyone
sees the potential
or gets it or loves it. Like
stars have to align.
the stars have to align.
Yeah.
But
sometimes if I'm trying to be like, I'm going to experiment, I will literally say out loud, I want to make no sense. And then I'll make an outfit.
Yes.
So that Josh can't say anything.
Yes.
Not that he does. But
and I also feel like
gives me permission to be like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, and
I don't care
say anything about it. Yeah. And I also feel like too, sometimes when I'm like in my like weird like work sweatpants and I'll like put on like a top, I don't know. I feel like I'm like, oh my God, I kind of like this. And it's like because I tried nothing at all and it was just kind of mindless. And then like it ends up working.
That's how it goes. What do you think is the biggest difference between someone who has a good read on future trends and someone who has a good read, who has a good personal style? I feel like that might be kind of the same person.
No. I think people argue about that all the time.
Really? Is it trendy or is it style?
Is it trendy or is it your own personal style? I will say, for example, like I think I'm a bit more, like I'll take me and Dylan, for example. Dylan's my roommate. I think Dylan has a lot, like good episode what? Yeah.
3.
Episode 3, check her out. She like knows what she wants, and if we go thrifting and she buys something, like she will wear it again and again and again. I think she's really good personal style. Like she knows what look will look good on her. She knows what she'll wear actually. She knows like, I don't know, the longevity of buying something. Whereas like I feel like for sure I get a little bit happy and I'm like, oh my God, I love this for this and I'll wear this that one time. Or if there's like a ballerina themed party, like, I get a little bit more caught up in like the moment of like wearing something. So I feel like if there's a theme for something or it's like a specific outing or it's a concert, I feel like that's when I feel the most comfortable to like really like find my like, but I feel like that's kind of more of a trendy prediction than like knowing. I think it changes a lot, if that makes sense.
I feel like one of the most common things about living in Denver is picking something up crazy and going, Gaper Day.
Yes!
And I'm like, why do I have 7 things in my closet for this one Gaper Day?
Or this one that I never even go to.
And then I never end up wearing one of these.
Yes, or why do I have like 14 jackets that have like never seen the sun?
Yeah.
Because I thrifted it once and I was like, well, like this. It's like I make up these themes in my head that could possibly work.
That was literally one of my questions is how often do you thrift something and never end up wearing it?
Like way too much.
I do the same thing.
But I also like,
go ahead.
I will say there has been times where I've thrifted something and I'm like, oh no, and then I do end up wearing it and it's another amazing feeling. So, or someone borrows it for something and that's also really fun is having like a treasure chest of like random crazy
like, just
things.
take it.
And I'm just like, just go. I'm like, I'm so excited to see it out there, which is also why it would be so fun to have like a store or like a setup.
I think you and Josh should start a store.
Oh my God.
This would be great. He's really, really good at thrifting, like on the boy side of things.
I would, because I feel like I'm okay with boy stuff, but I would love a set of eyes.
Oh yeah.
But now, but there's so many in Denver now, I'm just like.
I know, there's a lot. Okay, do you ever have to hold back your opinions when you see your friends dressed poorly?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Okay. I will say that I feel like everyone's style is different and everyone's comfortable in something different. So sometimes, sure, are there things where I'm like, I wouldn't be caught dead in that. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm like, okay, like interesting to pair with that. But if you feel good in it, then I feel good about you in it, if that makes sense. But I would say yes. Sometimes I do. I do.
But sometimes, you hold back though?
I sometimes am vocal about it. And people can attest to this. Sometimes I'm like, maybe we should try that with a different shirt. Like I'm not afraid to be like, I don't like that. If they ask me my opinion, if they don't, and we're already out somewhere. You gotta
open up if they ask you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever hated something I've worn?
Literally, let me actually think. No, I feel like every time I'm like, damn it, she's so cool.
That's really nice, Phoebe. She'll tell me later off screen.
No, I really can't.
But that being said, I think one thing is about me is like I do feel like people are like, oh, Laura would love that. Like I feel like I have like a certain type of aesthetic that people like know what I would like, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so I guess
you have a
maybe
strong personal style. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
A good read on trends.
A good read on trends, yeah.
What is the biggest tip you could give someone who maybe isn't into thrifting or shopping, but wants to develop like a very strong, solid personal style?
Okay, that's a really good question. So hard to relate to someone who doesn't like shopping, but I'll do my best. I wish I didn't like it so much. I would say like find the piece of clothing that you feel like the most comfortable in. So whether that's like, I don't know, a pair of cargo pants or a pair of jeans or like a sweatshirt you really like or like a pullover you really like. And like even on eBay, type in that brand and like see what comes up. And I feel like eBay has really good prices and then you get a lot of the like similar things. And then when you go to the thrift store, you look for those specific brands like Vintage Gap or Vintage Chaps or something like that.
That's good advice.
Because I feel like finding what makes you feel good is like that makes shopping fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we all fucking hated jean shopping back in the day or jean short shopping. But I feel like if you know what looks good on you and you know what to like look for a little bit more, you know what serves your body, then it actually becomes like a treat for yourself.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say a big mistake I used to make is not investing in staples. And the same thing, like once I learned what cut works on me, like that's kind of what I focus on. And then, but I've never thought to look for specific brands. But I think I've always kind of grown up like that because I've been tall. So I know what brands are tall enough for me.
Yes, that's very true. I've never, because I'm more like, I have to look for the petite shit that.
Yeah. I have a crazy false sense of like finding something and being like, I can sew this to make it look good. And then I'm like, no, I can't.
Well, that's so, yes. And actually, I've been wanting to learn how to sew for so long. So what would you say for a girl who procrastinates crafting projects? How do I just like hop into it besides telling me to just hop into it?
I feel like this is going to be crazy advice.
Okay. I'm ready.
Take everything out and put it somewhere that will piss you off. So that you have to do it.
Oh my God, so I see it. Because right now it's tucked away. You're so right.
Because that was my biggest thing with painting was like to set it all up and do it, it takes a long time. Where I was sewing last year, and I will say sewing is absolutely the hardest thing ever.
Perfect. Cool.
And start with something doable.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to hem something. I'm not going to like fucking make a...
Or you could do stockings.
Yes.
I did stockings on like oven mitts.
Yes.
Like start a dress, a skirt is really good. So take it all out and do something easy. I actually have a huge piece of advice for anybody, if you ever listen to this, that's like a young teenager, is choosing like a teenager job that could really benefit you.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Like work at like
Joann's Fabrics.
Or what is
they're going out of business. Sorry.
Oh, a tailor.
Yes.
Like you would learn how to use the sewing machine. You would learn how to tailor clothes.
Wait, BP, that's an amazing piece of advice.
Yeah, like because I think
be an apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. And like just choose something that could give you a life skill, because there's not too much pressure on it.
That's so true. What was I, a lifeguard? What can I show for it?
I mean, honestly, that's not
CPR?
bad. It's not bad either. I mean, I worked at a pizza place and I can cut pizzas really well.
Wait, so did Will.
Really?
Yeah, and he actually said that's kind of where his love for cooking started, because they would like make different types of pizzas.
Yes. We would always like mess up pizzas so we could eat them.
Yeah, cute.
Okay, the last section we're gonna play a little game.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna give you old trends from when we were teenagers.
Oh, fun.
And I wanna know if you would smash or pass them.
Perfect.
Smash being you would thrift and try to be creative with it.
Okay.
And pass is just leave it forever in the 20 teens.
Okay.
The number one thing is band tees.
Smash the fuck out of those. Smash.
Okay, the next one is skinny jeans.
I know that people are like trying to bring them back, but I don't like to know the size of people's calves. Pass. Let that be a mystery.
Capri or ankle jeans that are like that colored, like saturated color.
Capri jeans.
Yeah.
Like
that are like solid pink. Like, like a
oh my god, or like a turquoise.
Yeah, like they were always like a really vibrant color.
Vibrant color. We're gonna pass on those.
Statement necklaces.
I think we smash. I think like there's some cute ones and there's some fugly ones. The other day, Dylan told me that one of my necklaces looked like it was from Kohl's. So that one hurt. But I think
Are they still in business?
Is Kohl's Cash still a thing?
I hope so.
I think I got a card laying around here somewhere, so.
I think statement necklaces can be like kind of a reimagined version.
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, you can do something with them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make them into a belt or something.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Infinity scarves.
Get the fuck out. No. They shouldn't connect. There shouldn't be a connection. You can have a scarf, but it should be separated.
Just cut it.
Just sniffy snip.
Okay, crossbody bags. Like those little crossbody, like Kate Spade purses.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, Kate Spade needs to get out of my face. But I do feel like a cute little one. Like a crocheted one maybe, or like a weaved one. I would say smash.
Okay. Chokers.
You know I love a fucking choker still. I'm gonna smash that.
Those tiny backpacks.
I also have one of those. I think they're fun for concerts or like a festival. Like I probably wouldn't casually wear one, but I'm gonna say smash.
Okay. Flat, straight hair.
I love how specific that one is.
I'm specifically thinking of like Nina Dobrev, like back in the day.
Oh, like Vampire Diaries? Mm-hmm. Oh, she did kind of rock it with her skinny jeans specifically.
She did.
We
really had no volume back then.
No, it was flat on your goddamn head.
Flat.
No mousse. No.
Nothing.
We did need a break from the hairspray though, so we, as a society. Nina, you looked great, but I think we're gonna have to pass on that.
All right, those tight bodycon dresses with like cutouts.
Oh my god. Okay, this is actually a great anecdote, but when I was in high school, obviously pencil skirts were kind of a thing, and I'm gonna lump that in with those types of dresses. And we had something called Pencil Skirt Fridays,
Ooh.
where all the girls in my friend group, we'd wear pencil skirts to high school, and we really thought we were doing something. We really thought we were like
Fashion forward.
the hottest girls that ever arrived. So I'm gonna leave that there though.
All right, a bandage dress, which is similar.
Bandage dress. I've actually been seeing them more and more, and I feel like, nah, we're gonna leave it there. Kim Kardashian wore too many of them.
Yeah. Okay, the like lingerie,
the corset tops,
the bodysuit with the jeans. Do you remember those? The like teddy bear lingerie with jeans on.
Like college.
Yeah, like Khloe Kardashian wore it, and everybody was like obsessed. Repurposed lingerie, I guess is what I could.
Oh, okay. I did have a big slip dress phase. I feel like you never wear them as much as you want because they're hard to like.
Every time you put them on, you're like, this doesn't look good.
No, you're like, this doesn't.
Who does this look good on?
No, you're literally like, where does this like? It like looks like a sheet on you. Like it doesn't.
And then your boobs are just like. Rah!
Yeah, but then like in the thrift store, you're like, that's so cute. I'm gonna leave that there. Really? I'm so glad you have that same thing because every time I buy a fucking slip, sometimes I've had a few and far between where maybe you can make a shirt or something can be cute.
It's gotta be tight, like at least to here.
At least here.
Yeah.
But usually they look like
it's just nothing.
sacks on you.
Yeah. Okay. That's all my questions.
What?
I know. Okay, before we turn on music though, we need to do the charity.
Okay.
So what charity did you choose?
I chose.
What charity did you choose?
I chose The Gathering Place. It is a women's shelter based in Denver. And actually one of my coworkers used to volunteer for them. And they're a great cause.
Perfect. I love that you chose local.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta help out those.
Gotta help the Fort Collins gal has to, right?
Oh, cute. Okay, I'm going to turn this off so we can listen to music. Woo! Okay. Laura, are you happy with your painting?
You know what? I am.
Amazing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Ta-da!
VP told me that this was her favorite one that anyone's ever done. So
Available now on my website, palettetalk.com. Proceeds go to
The Gathering Place.
Mwah. Thank you for watching.